What's happening, boxing fans? It is Dr. Bring It. So, did you guys get to watch this past weekend's fight between Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, versus Sergiy Derevyanchenko? Hope I'm not really butchering his name. But regardless, everyone will be, and hopefully will be, watching some more of Derevyanchenko's matches in the future, because he absolutely deserves to be fighting against the most elite fighters out there. I did a quick prediction on Friday. I did feel it was a little bit hasty and rushed because it was last minute, but I really felt strongly about it because I was always kind of a Triple G doubter. I wouldn't call myself a Triple G hater necessarily, although a lot of people might consider that because I don't really praise him and put him on this pedestal. Just took me a little bit to really appreciate his game because I never really got to watch him fight until relatively recently. And especially after watching him against Canelo Alvarez, of course, I was very, very impressed with his performance. However, this fight against Derevyanchenko, I watched a bunch of his fights and I was thoroughly impressed with his performance against other fighters. I was thoroughly impressed with his skills. I did recognize that he has an X factor in his game. He definitely has something special. And I thought that he would do really, really well against Triple G. Now, of course, after the first round, when he was knocked down by Triple G, I was thinking, oh man, this is gonna be a really rough night. But according to some of the commentaries, they said he was really known to be a very slow starter till he started to get comfortable and get his rhythm going. And you know, that's when he starts to step on the gas pedal and go into his combination punching, and his ring IQ starts to kick in as well. Well, I'll tell you this, that fight was definitely very, very exciting. He had everything going against him in that fight, Derevyanchenko. First round, he got knocked down. I mean, granted, he kind of went really low, he ducked really low, and he got hit towards the top of the head, and I think he just lost his, he got hit going backwards. I think he just got stuck and fell back onto his butt. But I think, obviously he didn't really get hurt, he said. He just kind of went with it and fell down, okay? But nonetheless, second round, he gets cut. Now, I think it was a clean punch, a clean left hook by Triple G that caused it, but according to the ref, he says that he believes that it was by a headbutt. Now, again, doesn't matter what we think, what we see on TV, that ref is right there in the action inside the ring, so it's really hard to refute that. But anyway, after watching just the first couple of rounds, I felt like Derevyanchenko was really starting to realize that he needed to up his game. He needed to put on the pressure, and just like what I said in the fight prediction, I said that Derevyanchenko, based on his style, he was going to be able to back up Triple G. So that's exactly what happened. A lot of the commentators that were calling the fight, they even noticed that Triple G kept on backing up pretty much, and he was getting outworked by Derevyanchenko. So again, I didn't think there was going to be a knockout. I left room for that possibility. However, I knew that both fighters were savvy enough to be able to last in the ring and go the 12 rounds. Now, after the 12th round was over, I could see in Triple G's eyes that he felt defeated. Now, again, he probably didn't expect to perform that way, and according to him, after the post-fight interview, he said that it wasn't a good night for him, and I don't think the crowd appreciated that because he wasn't giving Derevyanchenko the credit that he deserves for really negating Triple G's game. According to the CompuBox numbers, he landed a lot more power shots on Triple G than Triple G has ever had to endure against other opponents. So for one, Derevyanchenko definitely had showed up that night and showed the heart of a champion and really got in there and tried to neutralize Triple G. And I think he was very effective. When he got very close, after he did his flurry of combinations, he went in and tied up his arms. So he did this very, very frequently, and I think it was definitely a savvy move on Derevyanchenko's part. And I think Triple G just never had the chance to get into any type of rhythm. And against Derevyanchenko, Triple G, known for his relentless jabbing, he recorded like an all-time low of jabs against any other fighter out there. So here's the question now. Why did Derevyanchenko lose? I thought it was going to be a split decision. I didn't think that all three unanimously was going to give the win to Triple G, but I believe it was a unanimous decision. So again, all the commentators that night that were calling the fight, they believed that that Derevyanchenko he really inched out Triple G. Now, mind you, yes, it was somewhat close, but I thought it was close enough to at least get one judge to give it to Derevyanchenko, but that wasn't the case. I remember back in the day, a lot of commentators and boxing analysts would talk about it. They would ask themselves the question after watching a fight. You have two fighters out there, okay? You got to ask, which fighter proved to deserve the belt at the end? Without even counting up the score, the number of punches thrown, without all that at the very, very end, you need to ask yourself the question, or at least the judges, in order to judge the fight, did this fighter do enough to prove that he deserves the belt? So in that fight, with that question, did Derevyanchenko prove to deserve that belt over Triple G? Now let's flip the question. Did Triple G prove enough in the ring to deserve the belt after that fight? Now again, like, it's a loaded question, I understand, but I'm trying to look at things without being necessarily biased, in the sense that I wasn't really favoring one or the other. I was trying to base my assessment through what I just saw in the ring, and I honestly felt that Derevyanchenko was going to do very, very well against Triple G. And thankfully, that fighter, in Derevyanchenko, he is the fighter that showed up that night. And he definitely showed the heart, the skill, the relentlessness. He neutralized Triple G. He was able to show better ring generalship. Just across the board, he fought better than Triple G. You cannot base your judgment on Triple G's past experiences. You can't judge his performance based on, his legendary status. That's aside from the point. You need to base it on how did he do in the ring that night. And I think the general consensus, based on all the articles that I've been reading, all the analysts, that says Triple G really didn't deserve that win. And I think the boxing conspiracy, okay, wants to maybe even line up a possible Triple G and Canelo trilogy. And of course, if Triple G lost this fight, how attractive do you think that trilogy against Canelo would be? It really wouldn't be that attractive. And to be honest with you, based on this really poor, lackluster performance by Triple G, and again, this awesome performance by Derevyanchenko, Triple G doesn't really deserve a third fight against Canelo. You know who deserves to fight Canelo? Derevyanchenko. Don't be surprised to see Derevyanchenko get a Canelo fight should Canelo beat Kovalev in November. So another thing I wanted to mention, I watched this fight on DAZN. I guess that's short for DAZN. It's a new live streaming service, and I watched it on my computer. It was awesome. I paid $19.99, and I am absolutely pleased about that because now I get to watch, awesome fights for, without losing a leg or having to get a second mortgage. So this is like really awesome service, and I look forward to watching that again in future fights on that network. But anyway, so let me know what you guys think. I think I'd be really interested to hear from Triple G fans. Again, trying to be unbiased, right? I want to hear what you guys think. If you believe that Triple G really won, first of all, and if you guys really want to see a trilogy with Canelo, or would you guys be open to a rematch against Derevyanchenko? Now, honestly, I'm not sure if Triple G wants a rematch against Derevyanchenko. He really looked aged there. And if there's anyone who was exposed, I think he definitely was exposed that night against Derevyanchenko. And yeah, that's my thing. I mean, I didn't make this video necessarily to gloat, but I did notice that there wasn't really a lot of views on this fight. Does that mean that not a lot of people were really interested in this fight? I'm not sure. Like, where are my boxing fans out there, man? This is Triple G, man. He's like one of the biggest names in the game. Just surprised that not a lot of people really were looking up information and videos on Triple G or Derevyanchenko. But anyway, chime in if you get a chance. And let me know what you guys think. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel so that we can talk boxing in the future. Like and share this video if you can. And I guess in the meantime, talk to you soon.